Swarms are A tier. Come on, Master XYZ. We all know. We all know that they're A tier. What's going on, everybody? Let's go. Let's go, baby. Just throwing the link into my Discord. And then I think we're going to get ready to rock and roll. Ugh, I think I sound like a dow when I said that, but it's okay. Just doing a little pre-stream stretch right there. Not Rich Legends or Dollar Shave Club. No. I'm here to hang out and convenience everyone. JJ sucks. Let's go, Nasage. Okay. So I do have things to discuss with you guys tonight. Okay. Here is our tier list. All right. I think it looks pretty good so far. I don't see the... Yeah, okay, they're cool. There's chat popping in. Everyone say hi. Test this all out. Reveal the sponsor. Okay. So I want to make it clear before we start anything that there is no money transaction with the sponsor. I'm just going to make that very clear right out the gate. I'm not shilling. I'm not selling my soul or being sold out or anything. There is no money transfer. Okay? But I was reached out by the company Hash Lab to put out, or not to put anything out, but I was reached out by the company Hash Lab to take a look at their new game. My Discord knows this, that they sent me a press kit. And those longtime viewers know that I also am a game developer, professionally, real life. So, they sent me the press kit. It's a brand new game. I think you guys might actually like it. It's something that I'm definitely interested in. I didn't know about it until they reached out to me. I'm just going to show you the trailer. And that's about it. I'm not going to sell you the game or anything. But this is free. They reached out to me. This is a nice thing for them to do. It's a nice thing for me to do. So that's how it's going to be. So does that sound good to everybody? I guess you heard about it. So the game is called Instinction. And they sent me the press kit. So I will play it for you guys now. Is that cool? Give me a yes in the chat if it's cool. Also, so I can make sure that you guys all hear me properly. No Stitches, there's no Raid Shadow Legends here. Alright, sweet. So my chat box is like super small for some reason. Yeah, dinosaur game. So I want your opinion on something in a second. I have to mute the music, and I prepared this all. And I have it. Here's a trailer. You can talk over it and put your text over it, but this is the trailer that they sent me. It's minute 47, so it's not going to be wasting too much of your time, but it's a good thing they did for me. I'm going to reciprocate. I'm a good guy. I'll do it back for them. This is the trailer that they sent me with audio. I think they released this trailer a few days ago with no audio, but it looks gorgeous, and it's in Unreal 5. or Unreal Engine 5. So this actually looks sick. So huge ups to Hash Lab Games for sending this my way.
I wish I hadn't come here for this.
And I think, yeah, I know people have seen this already. I've been talking with them on Twitter, and they've been tweeting at me back and forth. So you might have actually seen me share this on Twitter if you follow me on Twitter. If you don't, my Twitter is linked in the description below. Little plug. But yeah, the graphics on this game look insane. I don't know if these are pre-rendered or in-engine, but these look nuts. Like, that Carnotaur looks fucking awesome. Wow, what an original game plot.
After all this death.
Hey, listen. I'll take a dinosaur game any day of the week.
If you have the chance to do it all again. What would you have done?
I was saying Hash Labs. That's my bad. It's Hash Bane. So, yeah, that was Instinction, the trailer. Like I said, they were nice enough to send it my way. I want to be clear, there was no money exchange. I didn't sell out or anything. But they sent the trailer my way. I told them I'd take a look at it. And there it is. And they wanted me to share it around. So, they get some free press. I don't mind. I'm just happy that someone has reached out. Let me put the music back on. I'm going to skip this one. So, the reason you guys are all here. The Godzilla Battle Line tier lists. So here's how this is going to work. I know there's a lot of my Twitch friends are here in the chat. There's a lot of new guys. There's a lot of people who this is their first tier list stream. So I'm going to explain how this works for everyone. If I do get sponsors, accept them. Oh, I mean, it depends. I don't think if Toho tried to sponsor me, I don't know if I would accept it right away because, like, they might want me to not talk negatively about the game. Some companies do that. So I would just read my contracts pretty carefully. Roosters don't hack Godzilla, very true. Here to advocate for Dimension Tide, that's it. Alright. But here's how it goes. I have 2 tier lists for you tonight. There's no leader tier list tonight because there's no new leaders in the game. So that tier list is not going to change. There's no combo tier list tonight because there's plenty of combos in the game. And I didn't ask for anyone to submit new combos on my Discord. So I'm just not even going to include it because nothing would be changing on that one. There's 2 tier lists for Godzilla Battle Line tonight, and then a bonus tier list that was requested by my Discord. The first tier list is the Godzilla Battle Line PvP tier list. Player versus player tier list. That's what this is. The second one we're going to do is PvE. This is for the event. And I put everything back to where it was for the last season, because largely things remain unchanged. We're just going to add basically the new units in the order that they've been released to the PvE list. However, there are some units in here that got buffed and nerfed that I think is worth taking another look at, like Hedera Bylante and the Psychic Chorus for this mode specifically. So 2 tier lists. PvP will be first, and then PvE will be second. Finally, to round out the night, as requested by my Discord, I will rate every Godzilla movie. Singular Point's not on here. The animated series, Hanna-Barbera, or Zilla animated series are not on here. Just the movies. Discord requested it. I abide. I am going to rate all these movies. Just get out 2 units and he's dead. Header's the best guy. Anyway, that's how this works. And since there's a lot of new people in here, I'll go over this again. This is a community tier list. Okay? We are going to work on it together. My word is not the end all be all. Say I decided to put the helicopters in the S tier. It's your guys' job to definitely talk me out of that. If you believe truly that I'm not placing units in the proper spot, let me know. I'm probably going to ask you guys what you guys think of the units. This isn't just a me thing. This is a we thing. Okay? So with that being said, I think that it's time to get started. Save your Godzilla movie outrage debates for later. Clear your heads, clear your minds, because we are going to be doing the PvP tier list. It's the first one on our list. And let's get right into it. And I'm going to clip it for YouTube and everything like that. I think I have a clip button. Is this a stop? That's a stop stream. This is a save replay button, schedule stream. Okay. I'm just going to clip it after. Okay. Yeah, no matter where GVK and Kodum get placed, there's going to be riots. Oh, I 100%... This is a weird thing. I'm sure Ms. Venom confirmed, even though I don't use anymore. Which card? I'm just going to say, you guys are definitely not going to agree with me on how I'm going to rate the Godzilla movies. I'm just telling you. I promise you guys are going to hate it. But, with that being said, starting right here... Let's jump right into the PvP tier list. Is this tier list for PvP or single player? Okay, so this is the PvP list. This is the single player list. We're going to do the PvP one first because it's going to take us the longest. So, we're starting right here. Okay, so airbase for PvP. Not very good these days. Is anyone here even using airbase at all? I'm not. I think I've maybe seen one person with airbase, and I just consider the airbase the garbage, dead on arrival. So, I'm putting the airbase in the C. The helicopters are not, I don't think they're D. I mean, they could be D. I think they could be C. The highest I'm willing to go for them is like a C minus. If I were to do like more tiers, I would do like C minus. Now the airbase D, D, D. All right. Airbase is D. Airbase is D. I have a contestant for C and B though later in the same line. This man right here. Okay, but second, Anguirus, because we're going in alphabetical order, by the way, until we get to the... No, I think it is all in alphabetical order, yeah. I think Anguirus is C. Everyone's saying airbase can't even install D tier, D tier. D tier for Anguirus as well? Or are we still on airbase? I'm getting some B's. Anguirus is B. I'm getting C's. I think he's a C tier. I think he's really good for new players, but I think in the late game, he's not very good. C+, C's, B, C. Yeah, I'm putting him in a C. Anguirus is definitely a B or an A if you're like a brand new player, but as you progress into the game, he's more of a C. He's one of the weaker tanks, but if you don't have another tank built up or a lot of units, he's pretty worth it. Batra Larva is a C tier unit, I think. And I'm just going to preface this. Most of the pre-evolutions, I think, are C tier. I think there's one exception later on, but I think Batra Larva is C tier. Batra Imago, I think Batra Imago is B tier, but lately I'm getting a lot of messages about how he is A tier, so as if anyone here can talk me out of that. The game doesn't do anything. C, B. I think Batra is a B. A tier for the evolved units. I don't know about that. Not all the units. Batra Larva is strong these days. D for you. Batra would be D minus. We didn't have the buff. C. Yeah. Batra gives a really good buff. Any aerial unit and has survivability. I don't think he's necessarily too bad. Everyone is saying C. Even with the buff. Alrighty. Both Batras are in the C tier. Larva is weak, but the boost is good. Yeah, the boosts are pretty good. B tier, Batra Imago. Larva uses the decent damage. B. Listen, the majority was C for both of them. That's what we're getting. Biolante, I think, is B tier. For the lower form of Biolante is easy. Is B. And I think that, and I mean, good in water, decent spread. But the main Biolante, I think, is definitely B tier. Really cheap and pretty strong. Yo, Plant Beast form is D. B's for Batra. Y'all are crazy. Bio's like a B. Biolante's B. Yeah. I think that the flower form is C. I think the flower form might actually be D. I don't think the flower form covers enough ground for it to be C. It's like just decent and it's slow, so you're really not fighting anything with it. Biolante's B. Flower form C minus. There's a delay with YouTube. All the C are for Batra larva. I know I have stream delay on one of my chats, but I have a separate chat up as well, and I can get it in real time. If your friend is level 9 Violante and you got 22 win streak with it, oh my gosh. Okay, but I think this looks good for now. I think this is pretty solid. Stealth Bomber D, yeah. Who was ahead of the curve right there? Dinar, yeah. Stealth Bomber is definitely D tier. I mean, I'm a fan of like the Stealth Bomber going for the leader and attacking, but it just doesn't provide anything to your team really, and it's literally counterable by anything with anti-air. It's not a good spot. I know a lot of people in seasons 1 and 2 are like, it's S tier, it's S tier. I've never seen this as anything but D tier, to be completely honest. Bomber's definitely in the D tier. Stealth Bomber's D tier, yeah. Everyone agrees with Batra is so much better than Bio. S tiers for Bomber, dead unit. Now here's our first controversial unit of the night. Is Desghidorah. Toho intends for Desghidorah to be S tier. I think Desghidorah is B tier. I think Desghidorah is it gets really high damage. Desghidorah gets really nice speed. Desghidorah's attack speed is miserable. Listen to this. Desghidorah's attack speed is 2.8 seconds. Desghidorah can be stun locked by every unit that has a stun in the game. The Mbob base counters Desghidorah, Manila counters Desghidorah, and the Mbob pair will counter Desghidorah. And as it stands right now, I would go as far as say 95% of players have Desghidorah at rank 1. Unless you're whaling, you do not have it past rank 1. And even at this rank, Desghidorah will get stun locked because his attack speed is so slow. He has good range. The spread is good for Desghidorah, right? The spread is decent, but it's in a straight line. And that's fine. And the burn is really good. If you can get a unit up close and hit him with that burn, you're going to do a lot of damage over the 8 seconds that burn will cast. I think it's like 50 damage a second. So it's like decent, and it's 8 seconds. So what is that, 600? And what is it, 600 and... What is 8 times 5? Why am I being like so dumb right now? 40? I don't know. Whatever. He doesn't do enough, and he gets stun locked. You're all saying A tier. I think this is the one that I'm vetoing. I do not think he's A tier. It just shoots unlike Kiji, you can cover most of the field. What's your next vote for Isabel line after Kiryu? I don't know, Ultimate Minecraft Gaming, whenever they do another poll. Yeah, Stitches. If you do not spam, if anyone, this goes for anyone, if anyone spams messages, I'm just going to block you, so. And it also is really taking up the chat, and it's making it hard for me to read everyone's answers. But Desghidorah, I think at a higher level, Desghidorah would be a low A. Desghidorah is a B unit, and I literally think it is a B unit because he's just going to get stun locked by anything. Your Desghidorah is a D. As far as I'm concerned, Desghidorah is a D unit as long as the enemy has anything with a stun. Diego, please no spam. This community list, as this is a community list, not yours. He can get stun locked, but it's easy to avoid. Door at C for me. Okay, I can't count everyone's votes if there's ton of people putting in the same things over and over and over again. B, so I'm getting a lot of B. I've got a lot of A's. I got a lot of C's, which makes me, in any case, want to put him in B, like right in the middle, because I think Desghidorah is really strong, and I think as long as you can take care of any units that stun on the opposing team, he's gonna absolutely roll your opponent. But the fact that you can make it so Desghidorah never fires a shot is really bad. And you know, him and G21 suffer the same stunlock fate, right? But the difference is G21's ability is more useful than Desgadora's. I think Desgadora is B. He has the potential to be the best unit in the game if they shortened his attack time by like 0.6 seconds, 0.7 seconds. He would be literally insane. But because he can get stunlocked by the cheapest and most terrible of units, do a poll? Oh, I can do a YouTube poll. Let me do that. I can do a YouTube poll right now. Okay, I'll run a poll. I couldn't do polls on Twitch. I didn't know I could do this, but I totally can here. So let me see. Let me see where this is at. A poll for each one is a waste of time, correct? But I'm gonna do a poll for Desgadora because Desgadora is probably the biggest unit we're gonna get this whole like stream. B or A. Why am I in this one? A, B. I'm gonna add another option, and I'm gonna do C. This is the one poll we're doing tonight. Did it go up? I don't even see it. There it is, okay. Look at that. Yeah, do polls for controversial units. I totally think that, he's, I'm just distracted right now because I'm looking at the polls. I think that Desgadora could be S tier if they shortened his timer, but they're not. Okay. Look at that. We got 23 votes. Okay, I'm ending it. This is overwhelming. B tier. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Now I don't know how to get this fucking poll off my screen. There you go. It's up. Sweet. I think there's just there was just a delay on my end. The initial burn damage, yes, is sick. His range is great. His attack is great. His health is great. Like, everything about him is great except for his attack speed, which makes it so he basically will never take a turn. And because his attack speed is so long, say he's targeting Gigan. Gigan will run past him, right under him and past him before he even goes, and it's going to turn Desgadora the whole way around. So now not only has Desgadora spun in the opposite direction, he has to work back around. He has to work his way back around, then to attack again. B unit, if they up his speed, he'll be a god tier unit, 100%. Dorats. Oh gosh, Dorats are also one of the brand new units. The Dorats, I think the Dorats might be D tier. They have very similar stats to the Kama, to the normal Kama Kuris, but they're not seeing a lot of play. They're like one shot by everything. They're just Kama in the sky, but I think there's a little. Azurpulse, my logic is so flawed. Explain, because Desgadora is useless if he gets hit by any stun. He will stop attack. It's the same as Godzilla 21, but Godzilla 21 at least has more utility once he can hit a unit. Dorats, D, C. If you think they're good or bad, then that's fine. Yeah. D Dorats. Dorats are pretty bad. They just have low health. Yeah, I mean, a lot of their stats are on par with the regular commas, but their health is pretty low. You say Dorats are C if they're upgraded. Yeah, I've been wanting to get the Dorats up. Azorpos, you already explained. Scroll up. The same thing, 89 is only B tier because he can be stun locked. Yeah, but G89 also has a shorter attack, and G89 can hit as well. He can break through a Manila stun lock. Desgadora, okay, the M-Boss and the M-Boss base won't fully stun a G89, but they will fully stun Desgadora. But the Dorats are D. The Dorats are D. I'm not talking about Desgadora anymore. You guys are free to obviously believe whatever you want, but we took a poll and everyone decided Desgadora is B. Dimension Tide is D tier. D for doors. What do you think will be the next battle piece in December? I do not know, Minecraft Gaming. The Dimension Tide is D tier. I don't think I need to really explain the Dimension Tide too much for everyone. It's kind of not amazing. And I know it got like a little bit of a buff at some point, but it's just like, it's not good. I don't really need to explain that too much. A tier though, I think the energy collector is A tier. I know Echan's probably gonna hate that for sure. Rookie's like D tier Dimension Tide. Dimension Tide who? But I think the energy base is A tier. I mean, obviously, if you're running a high-powered deck, you're gonna want more energy. Again, if it's upgraded, it's really good. We could say Blue Champ Gaming that if you upgrade any of these units, they're really good. I'm talking like we're talking about like if all these units are level 30, if all these units are the max that they could possibly go, at that point, then which is going to be the best units? Because we can always do, oh, you know, my level 28 G89 is S tier because if everything else level 15 is just going to run right through it. E-Collector. Yeah, I think the energy base is A tier because if you run a high energy deck, this is going to save your life. Although a lot of people say it's extremely OP, and I don't believe that the energy collector is extremely OP. Because of the energy everyone is like, oh, the energy collector is going to just pump out a massive amount of energy. You're only really netting a positive 3 energy. You're just doing it a little bit faster. It's definitely not S tier, but I think everyone seems to say A or B, so I'm going to leave it in A. Frozen Sunday or whatever is D tier. Yeah, they gave it a buff, but the buff really isn't that good. I mean, I don't feel like I really have to elaborate on it. Sorry if I like pause. I'm just trying to read chat. There's just so much to catch up on. The Sunday is D tier. It does a little bit of damage, but I mean, and it's cheap, which is good. But it's really, I think it's an energy burn. If you use Sunday, you throw it out there, it's just gonna burn whatever energy you have. Okay, instantly because I know it's coming. The freeze is B tier. It's super useful in sticky situations. Agree. Energy collector A can be stopped in easy 2 game. C, D. Sunday is situational. Sunday seems to be getting a lot of varied responses as well. I think it's a D. I think it truly is D tier. I think the damage is decent, and I think maybe at a lower level, like a lower rank play, it's gonna help you out. But I really do not think in the toppest of top. I mean, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet once. Now, Gigan as a unit. I think Gigan is C tier as a unit. You send out your being a monster. I'm going to send out Godzilla and use Gigan to send him to your leader. Yeah. Gigan, I think, is a C unit. He will go after, like, Markalite Cannon. He'll go after the bases, the facilities. But the only real facility that he's going to be attacking is like the energy collector, because no one else is really using a ton of other facilities. Why Sunday when you have Death Bug? Gigan is a unit of C, yeah. Dinar, please no spam. Too low health. Yeah, Gigan, honestly, every single Gigan I've fought that's a unit, not a leader, never makes it to my leader. You know, every time I see a Gigan, it's like, alright, my ultimate's just going to make quick work of him and just take him out. So C tier. Everyone seems to be in agreement C tier. Or at least a large majority. Now, Godzilla Terrestris is also C tier. Godzilla Terrestris has a really great healing mechanic. In the beginning, for 15 seconds, he gets like a really solid heal. But, man, I mean, he has good speed too. His damage is decent, but he has not a lot of health. And so if your enemy can start hitting him after the healing has gone out, he's going to die. It's going to be like 2 hits. High enough King Caesars will be able to kill him in 1. Mega Gyros will kill him for 2 at a high enough level. He's cry with the Bylante buff. I mean, yeah, Gigan is insane with the Bylante buff, but I'm not taking any buffs into consideration because then I could just apply the 150% buff that Bylante gives to everybody and be like, oh yeah, he's insane with this buff, or the Batra speed buff and stuff like that. He's a S tier, too weak. Level can seize your level J can kill it. Yeah. Terrestrius B. I'm getting some C's, some B's for Terrestrius. That's situational. He can be defended easily. I mean, yeah, you can defend Terrestrius easily, right? But that's like me saying any of these units here with a combo is like gonna do really well. I think on his own, Terrestrius is not the best. I'm getting B's. Terrestrius is easily some B's. Okay, he's a B. Trust me, my strategy to take out this Terrestrius is wait till he gets to my base and he loses his regen and I use Desgadora and he burn him. We're giving the same thing. Sunday is situational. He's B. Alright. We're getting a lot of votes for B. Terrestrius, low B, in my opinion. We're getting a lot of B. G21 is either S or A tier because in the game, but he can be countered and given escort. He can melt through the leaders. Yeah. And I know that I'm going to get flack for this for saying that Desgadora is easily stunned. Godzilla 21 is A tier. And the reason he's A tier and not B tier with Desgadora is because G21, in the way his ability works, is just the best ability in the game. As long as he can be kept alive. And I know like it's situational, like keeping Terrestrius alive. But if you can keep G21 alive, he will absolutely and utterly destroy your opponent. It doesn't even matter the level. Even with a level 1, I tested it the day or two that he first came out. Echan and I were on Twitch and we were testing out G21, and a level 1 G21 will kill, or at the time would kill a level 20 leader, level 25 leader in 8 seconds. That is a crazy number. I firmly believe G21 is A tier. His health is low, yes. A pull. G21 gets wrecked by Manila, yes. But the way he's so easy to counter, I'll put him to B tier. I truly believe he's A tier because of the nature of his move. G21 is strong, gets distracted against all units, he's a god. G21 is a B, he gets stun locked by all. It is difficult to make him alive. Okay, you guys, listen. Not just my stream. It is my stream, but not just my list. It's your guys' list. We're getting a lot of information. We'll put him in the B tier. I believe he's A tier because he'll nuke a unit. It's just with the stuns and all that. But I see what you mean, and with Desgadora as well. The stuns are just too much for them. When he high level, he is amazing. I think G21 is definitely an A. What everyone is saying B. We're getting some A's right there, but you see him in the meta. I mean, there's not really a meta this last few seasons. It's mainly like a kind of whatever you want. If all of these units were level 30, G21 would be S tier. But I think that he's A. He's kind of a glass cannon. His ability's really good. But a lot of you guys are saying B. Alright, Geigen is trolling with Godzilla 89 in D tier. G21 is A tier. If not S tier, he is A tier. Pull it again. I'll only do a quick poll. G21, A or B? There we go. Run that poll. Let's see it go live. Yeah, there is no meta. I'm with Rookie. There's literally no meta. So let's see the poll right here. I'll leave it up for only a few seconds, so get it in while you can. My thing is like pulling up the my browser for some reason. Interesting. Oh, A is overtaken B. Wow, this poll feature is incredible. I didn't even know we could do a poll. Okay, that's 28 votes. All right. That looks good to me. So G21 is A tier, and I was willing to put him in B for you guys, but on that poll, y'all put him in A, so that's on you guys. G89. I was gonna put G89 in S tier, but I think G89 is A. I want to put him in S. I want to put him in S really badly because he's just unmatched. The only problem is he gets stun locked. Dino excels, yes, we're ranking combat ability, PvP, player versus player. Also welcome. He's a Godzilla's a B tier because he's high level, he can defeat a leader, no sweat. Then he would be, I think he would be higher than A. B at that point, S, G9 is A, Godzilla's A, solid A. You dare, A. A9 is S tier, A. B, I get out of here. A tier, can't hit air. Gen is A. G89 is low, S, high A because more flyers are being added. So there are, yes, obviously flyers being added that he can hit, but what ground unit does more damage on hit than he does? High damage, high health, only countered by swarms and Manila. A. All right, listen, you guys want him in A, you guys don't want him in S? We're going to be hard pressed to find a S tier unit then. If, I'm not doing another poll for Godzilla 89. I'm reading the chat, it's overwhelming A tier for 89. So we'll leave him there for now. Next up is Ultima. We got Ultima Pog over here. I think Ultima Pog is a A unit. I don't think he's ever really been S tier. I think he was S tier like the first 2 seasons of the game. There wasn't too many units, but I know with more units coming out, he is lower. He was an A tier last season, and I think he's an A tier this season. His range is really good. His range is only matched by Super X. The only downside to Ultima is it takes him a little while to load. S, A. When I use G9, he's close to the other unit, doesn't do anything when Manila freeze. A, S, A is... When has Ultima ever been lower than A? It's always Ultima meta. Yeah, literally Ultima's in like every deck. So I'll leave him in the A tier. Alright. D tier. And I hate to do a D tier, but I think the Hedera flying is D tier for sure. Everyone in chat is still on Ultima. That's fine. He has good range, but terrible at everything else. I mean, that's his whole thing. Stitches, his Ultima is range. Like, he is the range. His damage is good, too. And especially for the range, he's going to get a ton of hits in. Bro to Gamer, I do not think there's an S tier on this list anymore. My vote for S tier was G89, but everyone voted him out of S tier. I don't think there's another S tier unit in this chart, though. But, that's, you know, it's a community vote, and that's what everyone wanted. But Hedera flying form, I think, is D tier. He doesn't really do too much. He just vibes and he just like flies around and then he evolves. So he's D tier, is not really doing too much. Now Hedera, big Hedera, A tier for sure. Mature form is C tier. Blue Champ Gaming, you're out of your mind. Hedera, big Hedera is A tier. If I see King Ghidorah in the S tier, fight me. No, Hedera, big Hedera is in the A tier for sure. There's no point in have unevolved Hedera. Kong is S tier, hot take. Kong is really good. He's C tier. I think Hedera is A tier. Okay, so Mature is A. Mature, I want to make this clear. Mature has always been A tier. And then they buffed him for some reason. And now he is just so much better. I don't think he's quite S tier. But he's definitely high A tier. If there was any other unit on this list that wasn't G89 to be S tier, I would make it Hedera. And I am a very big Hedera advocate, but Hedera is just like amazing in this game. So easy A, Hedera. Jet Jaguar is a different kind of breed altogether. I'm a fan of Jet Jaguar, but he's really slacking these days. I'm putting JJ in B. There's an argument for A. I think he's low A now. Jet Jaguar is still good. I use him actively in my deck. But he's mainly just there to body block, and he's one of the units I'm thinking of taking out of my deck. He's either low A or high B, I would have to imagine. Maybe I'll do like a S plus, S minus, A, and all that. Make it more diverse later. But we're getting a B or A, B, A, A, B, B. JJ is high B. The block can be game-changing or do nothing, and also decent against swarms. No, yeah, Jet Jaguar and Hedera are like really good against swarms. I know there's like some kind of delay going on right now, and YouTube's weird like that. This is the first time we've done it on YouTube. Twitch is more like up to date. But Jet Jaguar's really good at covering units. He's really good at taking shots and like helping out like Terrestrius evolve or Mothra evolve and stuff like that. He's mainly just there to eat shots. That's his whole deal, is to eat shots and then counter the swarms. But now that we have Hedorah in the decks for the same cost as Jet Jaguar, we might not really need Jet Jaguar. It looks like there's an overwhelming majority of B, B+. We're making we need it so badly. Yeah, and maybe next on the next stream we'll do like a B+, A+, stuff like that. I wrote an entire dissertation in the meta section of Discord explaining why Kamakura is better than JJ. Oh yeah, I read that. And speaking of, I think the Kamakura is A tier. Or no, oh my god, not A tier, B. This Kamakura is getting a lot of play at the higher levels. Nasaji has made a very compelling argument for it, which I'm not going to go over. But if you want to read it, it's somewhere in the meta section in the Discord. The Kamakura is cheap, and they're really good at protecting. I've seen a lot of decks recently run, they'll put a Terrestrius down or an evolution unit, and then they'll drop a Kamakura down on the unit. So I'm thinking that they're B. I think an argument can be made for A. For some reason, the Kamakura is coming back. I'm seeing a ton of this one recently. A is B tier, normal com's A tier with Manila, 5e pin it. We'll have to go in there and pin it eventually. Zen Hero, the Return of the King, high B. Alright, we're putting Kamakura in high B tier then. The same can't be said for Kamakura Swarm though. I think Kamakura Swarm is C tier. I think maybe the Kamakura Swarm is B tier. The Kamakura Swarm is more expensive, and they have less health because there's more of them, which is fine, but they're gonna die way faster. Yeah, Phil Britt says it pretty good. Swarm is C because of health. I'm a fan of both of the commas. I think if you're going to choose one, the 3 commas for cheaper is better than more for... I mean, the more commas for the more energy, obviously. They're fast and they will turn flyer heads so your flyers can kill theirs. Low C Mothra Leo beats Ghidorah with the charge attacking Swarm. Oh god, Kamakura Swarm. Yeah. We're going to keep the Swarm at the C. Okay, listen, King Caesar, I'm putting him in the A tier. I have a feeling we're going to maybe get some S tiers out of the chat for King Caesar. I'm a King Caesar advocate. I was advocating for him 2 seasons ago. I'm still going to advocate for him. King Caesar is the best evolution killer in the game. Especially on maps that are primarily land, where he can just get a full head start and not be bogged down by water. There are some really good units to counter him, like the M-Boss and Manila, basically anything with a stun, or even Mega Gearus, who can use the slow on him. He's A tier. A, yeah. Overwhelming A tier for Caesar. Gets countered really, really easily. King Caesar A because of the change. Or the charge. King Caesar easy S. Ooh. A, S. Alright, alright. King Caesar C. C for Caesar. No, I think we're going to keep him in A. It seems to be the overwhelming view in this chat. But he gets countered easily. Stitches, every unit in the game can be countered easily as well. But, like, pure, like, battle potential, though, you know? Like, I could say every unit in the A tier can be countered easily, and then I'm just gonna put them all in D tier. But individually, powered individually, I think King Caesar is in the A tier. For just what he does is great. King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah has definitely an argument for B, but I think King Ghidorah is in the A tier. King Ghidorah is basically what you want to run instead of Des Ghidorah, I believe, as of now. Especially if you're free to play, your Des Ghidorah is not going to be too high. Odds are everyone in this chat has a higher King Ghidorah than they do Des Ghidorah. And King Ghidorah is cheaper. B tier. B because health and damage. They did also nerf his range. King Ghidorah is an A tier. If anyone says S tier, fight me. A. King Caesar is an A. Great damage and range and AoE can be sniped by ultimate, yeah. Get some good red. A, B, spread. Yeah, S tier. King Ghidorah S tier. We have 3 S tiers for King Ghidorah. I think he's A. I don't think he's S tier. Only because the other flying units will kill, or not other flying units, specifically Mega Gearus will tank a King Ghidorah and just absolutely obliterate him. And then, you know, Super X will snipe him, Ultima will snipe him. I think he's good in A tier. I don't think he's S tier, and if he was S tier, he would be like the lowest of the S tiers. Wait, why is ERB in A tier? Because it's good for giving you energy. King Ghidorah's a swarm sweeper. You should use it when swarms are supporting strong units like G89. Yes, but I would make the argument, why use King Ghidorah in your deck to sweep swarms for 6 energy when you can use Hedorah or Jet Jaguar for 4? Cheaper. Next up, Kong. Kong is a B tier unit. Kong is so good. Kong is slept on. Kong is easily the most slept on in this game. Kong is so strong, and his stats are really solid. He gets like a ton of health as he progresses. It's just so hard to level him. And you cannot get enough pieces for him. He's like a great substitute for G89. He doesn't have the like same stats 1-to-1, but he's so beefy and he's so strong. He's definitely slept on. Cheaper, not stronger, is based on how much King Ghidorah you have. B. Everyone says B for the monkey. Yeah, dude. Kong is a sleeper unit. Like top 10 sleeper units in the game. Kong is like number 1. No one plays Kongs really, and if they do, their Kongs are low. Kong is so strong. If you check the stats out, the like Brahma's calculate and everything, Kong is actually really strong. I'm keeping him in B tier. It looks like you guys also are okay with B tier. Now we're on the Destroyer Larva. I want to almost put the Destroyer Larva in C tier, but at the same time, I think they might be in D tier because I feel like they just are they're way too easily taken down. They're grouped up a little close. Like, the thing that separates them from the Kamakura swarm is that they're just too closely spread. So like a Hedorah can hit a Kamakura swarm with some damage, right? And not kill all the Kamakuras. But Hedorah can hit the Destroyer Larva and just kill all the Destroyer Larva in one shot. Who's faster in water would depend on Geigen. C, they're D+. C, Destroyer Larva is D. Saying a unit sleeper and you put it in B. JK. High D, C. Crab Army is D or C. I'll put, there's a lot of votes for D or C, C+. I'll put them in C. They're not terrible. They're really good for newer players, but unfortunately, so many of the flyer units have like AoEs at this point that it's making it like difficult. Countered by literally everything. All right. Markalite Cannon. I think Markalite Cannon is a C tier. It's a facility, so it's not going to move anywhere. You just place it, and then it stays. And it lasts for, like, what, 15 or 20 seconds or something like that? And in that amount of time, how many hits are you putting out with it? 2 or 3 hits? And it slowly goes down over time. If they're countered by everything, it should be D. Yeah, I mean, I agree, but there's a lot of people in here voting for C, and it's a community list, putting it in the C tier. D, Markalite Cannon is C. King Kong, you know the name of King Kong, you know the name. It's just a band? I don't get the reference. Markalite is very situational. He's a D or C. No, C or D. Good for the events, C or D. Strong but slow, doesn't move, C or D. I'm putting it in the C tier. I don't think it's a D tier because the Markalite does great damage. Dude, Kong 2021 is stronger than Godzilla 2021. I mean, in terms of outright damage output, Ultimate Minecraft Gaming, yes, but because of G21's ability in the long run, he would be stronger. Okay, MBOF Facility, I think is a C tier. And I think the MBOF Facility is up from D tier this season. It's from an old King Kong show. Oh, I don't know any of the old King Kong shows. But the MBOFs are moving up from D tier to C tier because with G89 and G21 and Ghidorah, if you have enough of these guys on the field, you can perma lock those 3 characters. You can stun them. Betcha's your favorite Godzilla battle line? Well, he's in the C tier. MBOS is just C. Yeah, I think the cannons, or the base is up from D to C because you can stun lock a lot more units than you previously could. C tier. Now the MBOS base as well, or the MBOS base is the one we just did. The MBOS pair though I think is C. I think we can make an argument for the Mbot pair to be a B tier. I have all the units. I need one more. Congratulations. The Mbot base is annoying. Definitely C. Alright, well, we'll keep it then in the C tier. We'll keep both of these guys over there. But I think we're talking about still, maybe the stream is delayed. But I'm putting the Mbot in the C spot. I think the Mbot pair could be B tier, but I think the Mbot pair is more accurately a C because it's just basically it's one shot by everything. Alright, Mechagodzilla is a B tier. Mechagodzilla has like a decent health pool. Damage is alright. The damage is alright on Mechagodzilla. Really good anti-air. Really good against like Rodan, Mothras, King Ghidorahs. And cheap for 4 energy. But there's nothing that Mechagodzilla does extraordinarily well. That no one, like, I would rather have Ultima or Manila on my team than maybe Mechagodzilla. Mechagodzilla was better when there was less units in the game, but now that there's more units, he's solid in B. I don't think he's going to get lower than B unless there's like some crazy meta shifts, but I think he's in that B section. Mechagodzilla or Megagear's A tier. Mechagodzilla really slow. Okay. Then we'll go with the level 11 Ghidorah. Okay, so we're gonna leave Mechagodzilla then in B tier because this seems to be the optimal place that everyone is looking at him. Megagearus is A tier though. Megagearus is so good. And I feel like my how-to guide on Megagearus like did not do her justice, man. Megagearus kicks ass. Her slow is great. Her speed is decent. Her damage is great. Her health is decent. Yo, do a giant octopus meme? No, we're doing a tier list, and giant octopus not in it. What's your favorite battle piece in Battle Line? I think Megagearus or Hedera is probably my favorite pieces. Megagearus is a high level. She kills all flying units. Yeah, Megagearus is so insane. She's so good. If you guys are on the fence about Megagearus, totally throw her in your deck. She is really good. Man, I'm a big fan of Megagearus. She has saved me so many times. Alright, now Manila. I'm putting Manila in the S tier spot. I think Manila is the truest of S tier. You say, yo, Manila low B, you're out of your mind. Manila is S tier though. Not Manila B or C, bro. Manila is 2. Hold on. Let me explain. Let me explain for all these Manila naysayers. 2 energy. Okay. Fast. Stun locks. Some of the best units in the game. Ghidorah has amazing stats. GD9 has amazing stats. G21 amazing stats. 2 energy. And Manila will stun everything. Manila has incredible range. Hear me out. Manila has incredible range. Quick question, is Hedera a he or she? The Hedera in this tier list is a she. But Manila combos well with every single unit in the game. No. Low A, you guys are out of your mind. Manila combos well with every unit. Manila is 2 energy, which is one of the lowest costing units in the game, period. He stuns. He has great range. Manila's A tier. Manila's so good, he's annoying. Dude, every single deck runs Manila. Literally, I'm putting up a poll. Every single deck runs Manila. I think I threw the poll up without putting a B tier, but it's fine. Manila is, if any other unit in this game, Manila is S tier. Manila is so annoying. Dude, every deck runs Manila. And he's 2 cost. You cannot just on a standpoint of how Manila operates, you cannot beat it. Like, you cannot beat the price for what you get for Manila. There's literally no other units in this game that do what he does as well as he does, and for as cheap as he comes. Mbob base does what Manila does, but it's 5 energy, and you have to wait like a million years to get like 4 Mbos out of the tank. The Mbob pair has 2 Mbos, yeah, but they can be one shot. And each of them is one shot. Manila can take multiple hits at high levels. He has insane range, which is going to take other units a little while to get there, and he'll stun lock everything. Fast attackers take out Manila. Correct, yes, but any slow attackers are out of the question. And we got 28 votes for Manila at S tier. Manila is staying in S tier. Manila literally is one of the superior units in the game. Fact. Manila is so powerful. If you are not running a Manila in your deck, I don't know what is going on with you. But Manila is definitely S tier. Super X is just flying Manila, but worse. Well, we'll get to Super X eventually, because I think Super X is going to have a lot of contention as well for where he's being placed. Or it, I guess, because it's a tank. Or it's a flying vehicle. The missiles. Also, Copter and Mbob base need to be unnerfed. I think the word you're looking for is buffed, sir. Alright. Missiles are D tier. Missiles are like alright. Stremelli versus me as a battle line. We're in the middle of a tier list, so I'm not going to be versing anybody right now. The missiles, I think, are in the D tier. The missiles are really only clearing swarms, and I mean, I guess you can use them to clear Manila and some facilities, but they're just not being played. Stuck missiles suck. Yeah, the missiles are not great at all. They're decent. I mean, they do good damage, and they can take out the facilities, but there's not really a lot of facilities being run besides, like, energy station. If you're trading 5 for 5 energy, I think there's better things you could do to get rid of the energy base. Like someone in chat mentioned earlier, someone drops energy base, you drop G89 with Geigen ability, hit the ability, and he's gonna zoom across the map. They're out 5 energy, and then your Godzilla's right in their face. That is so hard to deal with, and the missiles are not really being used a lot. If they're just there to take down the energy base, it's useless. Missiles lose you the energy race, yeah. Mogera, I don't know. I think Mogera is a C tier. I want to say Mogera is a B tier unit because of where you can place Mogera anywhere, or Mogera, you can place him anywhere, but he's just not doing the same amount of damage he was doing. He has great speed though. Mogera has great speed. You can place him anywhere. He has the best movement in the game for sure. Great at sweeping low-level leaders or 4-star leaders, but he did get a really big nerf. I'm guessing some B tiers for Mogera. Weapon is going to be S tier anywhere it is in GPL. Yeah, Hydra Raptor, it's a fact. Who want to get rid of a heli base and who runs them? Exactly, Rookie. Like, who would want to even get rid of these things with the light? Mogera might want to be Biba on a C. Mogera used to be the fat S tier. Mogera was so good back in the day. D tier, B tier, C for sure. No, Mogera, if any unit in this game, Mogera might have had the biggest fall from grace. Mogera was like the pinnacle unit for sniping, and it's just too expensive and doesn't do as much as for what I would rather have, like Hedera and Manila pop out than use a Mogera. Mothra Larva, D tier. Like I said earlier, most of the Evos are in the C or the D tier. They're not really too strong. Mothra Larva is no exception, pretty slow. You're really not going to see a lot of combat with Mothra Larva, and if Mothra Larva sees combat, the odds that they die is insanely high. Alright, but Mothra herself, I mean, could be a low B or a high C, like the drink high C. I want to know what you guys think specifically about Mothra. Mogera's an S tier in a wave event, though. Oh my god, yeah, absolutely. Mothra Larva, easy to kill, C or D. D tier, yeah, for sure. Imago B, Leo is C. For Mothra, D tier. Remember when you just need Mogera to kill every Mothra leader? Pepper Ridge Farm remembers. Hazen Mogera would be pretty cool, but more units like show up would be awesome. Mothra doesn't take that much time to evolve, though, yeah, but I mean, if she was to come up in combat against literally anyone, Mothra Larva would die. Imago is getting good. I've been seeing a lot of Mothra Imagos lately. A lot of them. Mine's level 30 Mothra. It's insane. Mothra dies way too quick. Mothra larva is bad. I think normal Mothra could be a B tier. I think she's doing a lot. She's decent. And a lot of you guys have voted for B tier anyway. Mothra Leo. I think Mothra Leo is C tier. And Mothra Leo is supposed to be the fastest unit in the game. Which is true. And he does take a little while to get going with his speed ramp up. And then once he makes contact, it's like two times his damage. He does good damage on hit. But once he stops, like once he makes that one big hit, he's really pretty much dead in the water. Like you're using him just to do one big hit. Godzilla with 1L. Do not spam emotes in the chat, thank you. It's pretty solid B. God, I'm laughing. Leo is high C. Mothra Leo attack speed sucks. Yeah, no, Mothra Leo's attack speed is super bad. But they wonder what Desghidorah would be like at level 2 or beyond that. I think beyond level 2, Desghidorah could be A tier, but the stun lock is really preventing it from getting any higher. But at high level, Desghidorah will destroy. Leo's a 2 times on dash. Casey's 3 times on dash. Yeah, I made a video about it, and there's all the numbers are there, but I don't even remember what it is. But yeah, Leo is knockoff King Caesar. Yeah, I think Mothra Leo is a C tier. Mothra Leo's like initial hit is really good, but at the end of the day, it's like whatever. Chorus is D. Yeah, Chorus got a buff, but even post buff, like the Chorus is not seeing any kind of play in the multiplayer, like PvP at all. Chorus is just sitting there, is kind of useless, honestly, and I really don't think there needs to be much more elaboration than that. The Chorus is just like, the Chorus is pretty much just dead on arrival. B tier. Regular Rodan was like Rodan 64. Rodan's alright. Rodan's what is Rodan's like pretty cheap. What is he like, 5 energy, 4 energy? He's decent. He has good speed, he has good attack, he doesn't really have a lot of health, but he is a really good option to slot into your deck, and you get him really early on, so he is a unit that can be worth building throughout your entire like life in the game, you know. The Psychic Orchestra is good, it can heal you. It like doesn't heal you that much, Blue Champ Gaming. Fire Rodan should be as B. Rodan is A, but the heal sucks. Yeah, the heal's terrible on the Psychic Chorus. But Mothra, or not Mothra, Rodan I think is B tier. Chorus would be great if it cleansed debuffs. That would be actually huge. We're getting some hits for Rodan in A, but a lot more for B. I'm going to leave it in B for now, and we'll come back to it. Fire Rodan, or I guess this is Rodan 1993, so the base one. I think the base Rodan is terrible. I'm gonna put him in the D tier, and he has like decent attack speed. He has like, no health, right? He has no health, and he gives a great speed boost. But this speed boost is gonna get him killed more times than not, and it's just gonna prevent you from healing him at all. Or not healing, but evolving him. Like, he's his own downfall for the pre-evolution Fire Rodan. He just swoops in and will die, right? You need to like drop him over like Kamakura Swarm or something like that, or like a G89, a unit that he can just follow around and peck at them until either he evolves or that unit dies. Because he will just die. He just goes in, shows up, and dies. He has a good speed buff, but because he gets the speed buff, he's just pushing everything into a really big team fight, right? And then he's gonna die in that fight. But Fire Rodan is A tier, baby. Fire Rodan is strong, and Fire Rodan's damage is not very good. But that's not why we have him in A tier. Fire Rodan's health pool that he drops on the ground is insane. The heal that you get from Fire Rodan is literally insane. It's like pre-nerf Psychic Chorus. Fire Rodan is high A tier. An argument could be made for S, because and he dies so fast, right? But that's his whole gimmick. You don't need Fire Rodan to just be alive and do damage. You need him to die. He exists to die. So Fire Rodan, literally, once you have him evolve, just send him into a team fight and watch him die to like a King Ghidorah or a Hedorah's AoE, and then he just heals up your entire team. His heal will make or break battles. His heal is as good, if not stronger, than Season 1 Psychic Core, or Season 2 Psychic Chorus, or whatever. I'm seeing a lot of Fire Rodan's Bs. I see a lot of A's in the chat, though. The heal is so good on him. I cannot stress this enough. You want to pull? Pull for Fire Rodan. Fire Rodan. S, A, and B. There we go. There's a pull up. Fire Rodan is an S, good regen damage and good speed boost. Yeah, dude, Fire Rodan's healing is insane. I see he's pulling hard for A. That's where I have him. Okay. There's a lot of chance for S. Okay, look at that. A is moving down a little bit, going up. B just went up a little bit. People are saying he's S tier. You gotta throw in that vote. And the speed boost, you gotta remember, he also has an insane speed boost as well. And if you're not running a Gigan leader, then this could be helpful, that speed boost. Plus he's cheap. But it looks like we have decided that he is going to be A tier. That is 30 votes. That is 29 votes with 62% saying A. Poll is ending. We're going to leave him in the A tier. Thank you guys for that little vote. This poll is so handy. All right. Z-Dub's S tier, baby. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. People just don't know how to use him. He's an S. Listen, we polled it. A tier won it out. You don't even need Rodan leveled up, right? His whole purpose is to die. The more that you have him leveled, he'll like have more survivability to evolve, which is fine. But you want him to die because then he will heal you. Space Godzilla. I think Space Godzilla is A tier. I use Space Godzilla regularly. He doesn't have too much health. His damage is like kind of middle ground. But the crystals and the buff that he provides is like the real utility, because he's a support unit. He's not he's not like a tank, and he's not an offensive unit. He's there to supply like a buff. So like Space G providing Ultima with the buff is really like nasty. Like having Ultima snipe from the back with the whatever that increase is, like I don't even remember what it is. It's really solid. Even like Manila with the stun, like Space Godzilla with those crystals will lock in like such nice power. Super X with that boost is going to do a crazy amount of damage. Like, he exists to pump out the crystals. And the crystals is what you want. And the more crystals you have on the field, the better. Not because the crystals are going to give you more buffs, the ones that are over, but because they're great to distract. They're really good to defend off swarms. Yeah, the swarms can like work their way around the crystals, but it's going to distract them for a little bit. Even like GD9 or Mega Gearus will get distracted by the crystals, especially units with a low attack speed. And if you can stun them and cancel their attack and new crystals spawn in, they'll just go straight for the crystals instead. Space Godzilla's so devious. If you're saying B, fight me. Super X is straight right D. S tier, Super Space G. Unless King Ghidorah or Hedorah. Correct, Goji fan. Space Godzilla could be useless if the enemy has Hedorah or King Ghidorah. However, we can say the same thing for like I said earlier, we can say the same thing for any unit in this game. As long as they have X unit or Y unit, they can be countered, they can be bad. But as a standalone, just purely based on what they do, how they perform, Space Godzilla, I think, is A tier, and so does a lot of other people, it seems, because the crystals, the buff that he gives to the team is so solid. As a support unit, he's one of the best, if not the best. Second only maybe to the Heisei Rodan and his healing. All right, next is the Super X. I want to put the Super X in A tier, but I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people who have something to say about the Super X, and I totally think that this one is going to need a poll as well. Yeah, King Ghidorah doesn't do as much against Space G if he isn't placed well. Yeah, if King Ghidorah can't hit both of the crystals, then it's a wash. Doesn't even matter. Things B says great range. Super X is good at a high level. Super X is so good at a high level. I don't think it's S tier, but at a high level, it's really good. And what is it, like 3 energy? I'll do this. I'll run a poll. Because I know there's a lot of high level players in here. And I know there's a lot of mid game players in here. And all the high tier players are telling me how good it is. I've been using it. It's really good. I'm going to throw in a poll. I think it's A tier myself. But I know there's a lot of mixed opinions. And it's one of the brand new units. So we throw a poll up for that. And let's see how it is going. Pretty much as I would expect in the first few seconds of the poll. Oh, we went from 8 votes to 20 votes. It's a pretty big jump. Yeah, Super X is really good at a high level. It puts out a solid amount of damage, and it has insane range. It has better range than Ultima. Yeah, we're going to end that poll right there. Yeah, you guys, there was 31 votes. That was more than half the chat. And we put him in the A tier, which I think is honestly fitting for the Super X. It does a ton of damage. And last but not least is the trains. I think the trains are D tier. I think an argument can be made for the trains at C tier. But, bro, there's early game people are here. They don't know how late game is. Super X is weaker against Manila. Yeah, so the downside to Super X, which prevents it from being S tier, is that it can be one-shot by anything with anti-air. But the range and the damage are so good for the price that you're paying that it really is like... If you're on high level play and someone drops the Super X, like that needs to be dealt with like immediately, because you're gonna be like, oh, it's not doing too much damage, but it has its fast attack and the little chip damage. It adds up. The damage from the Super X, it adds up, and it's hard to target because the range is so far away. Trains are useless. Trains D tier. Super X doesn't stun, so it isn't weaker Manila. I think he meant it's weak to Manila working. Okay, so this was the tier list with D tier to the trains. I think this came out pretty well, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad that we ran some polls. I didn't know we could do that, and that was pretty sick. So thank you all for voting on that. Next, this is the PvE tier list. So now the PvP stuff is over. We are now doing only for the event. So this is single player. This is the same list as the last time that we did this, right? Except I've added now the Dorats, the Super X, the 2 Rodans, and the Desgadora, because they're the newest units. It's player versus the enemy, it's the AI, and honestly the event is super easy. At least so far, we're in the first half. With that being said, I don't think there's too much that has changed over this season than the last. There wasn't really a ton of crazy buffs and nerfs, right? I do want to discuss maybe Biolante and Hedera again, but I don't even know because they're A tier. You know, they're both in the A tier for this event. So basically, we're just looking at the Dorats and everything else that was added, because this is going to be quick. So we're going to go through that. But when the unit reaches 30, what happens? Since I'm close to maxing my units, Filbert, when you get level 30 on a unit, or you have enough shards to make a level 30, instead of getting more shards for that unit, you get gold instead, or G tokens. But okay, Dorats for the PvE event. Ultimate 4 and usually it takes 1 or 2 hits depending on the level. It says as S, but I did say trains. Okay, for the event. Dorats, I think the Dorats are B tier in the event. Yeah, they're kind of like the Kamakuras, but they're in the air, and the Kamakuras are also in B. They do decent damage, and yes, they're flying, but because of the way that the events are, they can get overwhelmed pretty easily. So they're going to be in B tier. All the swarms are in B tier. The swarms are good to have, but the real key to winning these events is something with like a large area clear, and the Dorats just do not have that. Yeah, Bs. Okay. Makes sense. Super X. I think Super X is A tier for the single player event. The Super X, like we said earlier, we literally just talked about the Super X in that previous tier list. The Super X has amazing range. It's really cheap. and it's in the air. So ground units like the Kamakuras aren't going to hit it. Godzilla 89s aren't going to hit it. Gigan's aren't going to hit it. The Super X is A tier. It has such great range that you'd be... I mean, if this came up in your hand during the PvE event, you would be dumb not to choose the Super X. For 3 energy, and it will just sit there and just ping units, especially from waves 1 to 30. Like, it's going to do so much damage, especially if you have one at like level 10 even. Like 10 at the lowest in the waves 1 through 30 is going to just do so much. Super X is great in mark like hand at maps. Yeah. The Super X is great at taking things out that can't hit it, obviously, and especially when everything is such a low level, it's just going to rock them, right? So at least for the first half of the single player event, the Super X, even on the low level, like 10 or 15, even like less than that, is just going to rock your enemies. This Rodan, I don't, like the pre-Evo Fire Rodan is decent at best. I only say it's not as good because obviously it doesn't have too much health. We have a vote for both of the Rodans are at B. I think this Rodan is C just because, I mean, he does give a good speed up, which is nice, but he doesn't have a lot of health, so he just dies pretty fast. So if you listen, I'm gonna move on, and I know the stream is a little delayed, but if you think that the base Fire Rodan should be anything more than C, let me know. I totally think it's a C tier unit just based on health and everything like that, but it seems like you guys agree, so I'm going to move on. Fire Rodan I think is S tier. I think an argument can be made for A, and it's the healing and the speed. Fire Rodan gives amazing speed boost to bring your units across the map, and especially because our leaders are preset for the event, we can't use like Gigan, so we can't really get a good speed boost going, but you can get an insane speed boost with Fire Rodan if you have him evolved, and he gets a really good healing pool. And granted, for the first portion of the event, everything's a pretty low health, so you don't really need like a crazy health unit, but he will heal them if he goes down. Do I have any contradictions to that? I'm seeing some C's, some B's. I'll move him to A, because I don't truly think he's as good as Mogera and Gigan are for this. Which, you know what, that's tough shoes to follow, is Gigan and Mogera, so I'll move him to A. I see a lot of you guys are just skipping straight to Desghidorah, so we'll talk about Desghidorah then. Desghidorah, I think, is S tier for this. I think Desghidorah is probably one of the best units in the game, just like in general. I think there's a lot in PvP that is, you know, he suffers from, and that makes him not as good in PvP. But I think that in terms of like this event specifically, Desghidorah will just absolutely he crushes everything under the sun. He's great for swarms. He's literally like, no, you missed the tier list. Yep, we did here's the PvP tier list, and we're back in the PvE. Desghidorah's S tier against wave 10. Desghidorah's weight is S tier against like any of the swarm waves. This has an argument for S tier. I'll put up a poll, because Desghidorah I think is only S tier right now in PvE. The D's Desghidorah. I'm putting up the poll for PvE Desghidorah. Des in the single player is what Toho wanted to be in the PvP. Yeah, like 100%. Desghidorah literally in the PvE is an absolute beast. He just crushes everything. And in the PvP he lags, which is unfortunate. Okay. 12 votes in that poll for Desghidorah in S. Okay. 80% Desghidorah S tier. Okay. Okay. Well, that's half of the stream basically voting. So we're going to end it. Are we going to do a friend battle tomorrow? Just asking. If you, I mean, I'm not doing, I don't think I'm going to do friend battles tonight on stream. But if you are in my Discord, you can at me in the Discord and I can battle you. But I probably won't do it on this stream, because that's our PvE tier list. It took us not very long to get through it because there wasn't too many new units and not a lot of things get shaken up. So we're basically just adding on to last month's tier list. Are you going to get 1,000 subs in this year or after 3 months? I hope I get 1,000 subs this year. It's October and I have 832. And we only started this channel in the very last week of June, I think. So between July and now, we've had 832 friends come up. Thank you for ranking with us. It was fun. Goodbye. Yeah, so that was that, but I still have the bonus. The bonus right here for you guys. This was the requested tier list that was in my Discord. This is what I got asked to do the most. So for those of you who are sticking around to the end, this is less subjective. So this is going to be all based on my personal opinion, not so much as what you guys were saying. Like, you know, I was like letting you guys poll and everything in the chat, being like, oh, this was better, blah, blah, blah. So this is my personal tier list. And I know you guys are going to hate it. So instead of suggesting to me what you would like me to put where, just sit back as I post everything, and then you're free to yell at me and tell me that I'm an idiot, because I know for a fact some of you guys are definitely not going to like this. Where's the shows? There's no shows on here. I didn't make this tier list. I found this one and there's no shows, but I can go over where I would put the shows after we finish the list. But because I think I also have very high opinions on some of the shows as well. So I know this is gonna be like, I know there's gonna be a lot of opinions on this tier list for sure. And I think we're just gonna go in order. And I already know. I already know that I'm gonna get so much flack for this. For placing this movie as high as I'm gonna place it, but I love the Godzilla Planet Eater movie. The Noodle Ghidorah is, I just hit like F11 or something on my keyboard. Oh god! But the Noodle Ghidorah is so, I love the design of the Noodle Ghidorah so much. I loved that the conflict of the movie was like a spiritual thing going on. There was like, are you gonna start suggesting the F or S tier? I'm not, Zero Post, I'm not doing any suggestions on this. This is just me, and then you can yell at me for my opinions on this. But that I love the Noodle Ghidorah stuff. This one is Destroy All Monsters, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because there's like mad heads in this picture. Destroy All Monsters was alright. Destroy All Monsters is pretty good. And my opinion's valid right now. The Destroy Noodle Ghidorah. Alright, so, but Destroy All Monsters is pretty good. It's the first time, you know, all the monsters are coming into Rumble and fight, and Ghidorah shows up. Ghidorah is sick. Listen, I'm a big Ghidorah fan, as I'm sure many of you guys are. I think that's a B tier movie. I don't like it as much as I like other movies, but I give it mad props. I give it mad props for being the first big romp featuring like a ton of monsters like Varan and Baragon and stuff like that. You're gonna do this whole thing tonight, Blue Champ Gaming? Yeah, I'm going through every one of these right now. But I know Destroy All Monsters is like a big favorite, and I like it, but I don't think it's as good as like some of the other movies. This one is Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. I think this is the first appearance of Ghidorah. You know what? I'm gonna switch them. The first appearance of Ghidorah is alright. He's like just chilling. He comes in and Mothra talks, and like Godzilla says like a dirty word or something, because I think the Shobujin like translate whatever the Mothra larva is saying, and they like make a joke like Godzilla has a dirty mouth or something like that. Like, that's kind of weird. So I mean, I think I liked it, but it is all right. And then I'm putting Destroy All Monsters in A because I like seeing like Gorosaurus dropkick Ghidorah. It's pretty fun. What about the Rebirth of Mothra series? That wasn't on this list, so I didn't include them. And honestly, I haven't watched them. I have not watched the Rebirth of Mothra series, but I know like enough. I like know of them and their synopsises and stuff, but I haven't personally watched it, so I wouldn't even rank it to begin with. All right, so this is GMK, and I am a GMK boy through and through. GMK is tough. That movie slaps. I'm a big fan of GMK. I am a very big fan. No Way to Destroy All Monsters is A. I'm a fan of Destroy All Monsters, but I'm also a fan of GMK. I love the way that Godzilla is designed. The only thing I don't like about it is Ghidorah's design. I really don't like the crescent moon to Ghidorah. I'm not an overall big fan of Ghidorah with the fur in general, so it is what it is. Not a big fan of that, but I really do enjoy like the theme of the movie where he's like he's the souls or whatever is interesting. I think the story was all right, but it's one of my favorites, and it's one of the only I have only a few like Godzilla figures and like NECA and stuff like that, and I have the NECA for GMK. One of my favorite looking Godzillas in general, and Baragon is cute. This is the terrible one with Gabara, I believe. So that one was pretty bad. I don't really think I need an explanation for that one. The Gabara one with that little kid is just not great, and I think that's what this is. I can't tell though. I see Ebera, but I also see Manila. I don't know what that is. I think this is the one with the kids, but I'm leaving it there. What is this one? This is... oh gosh, I can't remember which one this is. Is this the... this isn't versus Megaguirus, is it? I can't tell what this one is. Do we see the Megaguirus one anywhere? If not, then I think that one is that. The King Ghidorah one is there. I think this is against Megaguirus. Theories, GMK Godzilla, the ghost of the first Godzilla. I think GMK Godzilla is like a reincarnation of the first Godzilla. You should change your name to channel something cool about Godzilla Battleline because you play Godzilla Battleline a lot. I could think about that maybe. GMK Godzilla could be using first Godzilla body. This is 1999. This is Godzilla 2000. No, Godzilla 2000 is somewhere else on this list. I thought I saw it. I thought it has the big 2000 underneath it. I guess not. Well, if this is Godzilla 2000... oh yeah, this is the one. I couldn't read the 2000. I'm a moron. Godzilla 2000 is alright. I'm not a big fan of Godzilla 2000. I think Orga is super cool. I'm a big fan of Orga. I really like the design. I really like how he gets killed. I'm not a big fan of the 2000 Godzilla design either. I'm just gonna say it. Not really like my top suit. It's alright. But not much more to say. The humans were pretty fun in 2000 though, but overall to me it was just alright. I'm not a big fan, although it was one of the first Godzilla movies that I did actually see. It was on a TV and I watched it on TV with no volume the first time I ever saw it, and I must have been like 9 or something like that. I have no idea. Now this I know, this is Tokyo SOS, baby. Tokyo SOS, great film. Love Tokyo SOS. One of the first Godzilla movies I owned personally. So it's a little personal preference of mine, Tokyo SOS. I'm a big fan of Kiryu. Super excited for Kiryu to be coming to the game. But I think it's S tier. I love seeing Mothra in it. I love Mechagodzilla in it. Super sick. Loved it. Loved that movie, Tokyo SOS. Big ups. Alright, this is I think where a lot of you guys are going to get angry with me. This is the, what is this, the 84 movie or whatever, the like Rebirth or whatever, where they started up the franchise again. I hate it. Dude, I do not like this movie, and you guys can hate it on me for that. I hate this freaking movie, man. I do not like it. I watched it 2 or 3 times, and every time I watched it I was like, I just want it to be over. I like them bringing back Raymond Burr the guy from the first one, and they had some cool like Cold War themes going on and stuff like that. I just didn't like. I did literally anything else. I just didn't. I was not a fan. I do not like this one. It's like I think Godzilla also looks super ugly. What makes you sad is the Mothra dies in every movie she's in. Yeah, but I don't like this one too much. I know a lot of people it's their favorite, and a lot of people it's like their favorite design. I think it's one of the ugliest looking Godzillas, and I don't know. I'm not a fan. I like the Super X though, but this movie I don't know. If I had the choice to watch it or not, I'm not gonna watch it. Godzilla's only because of the belly flops in a film. Yeah, Godzilla 2000 belly flops in the versus the Megaguirus film. Are you doing the American versions or the Japanese versions? I'm doing the American versions because I've seen most of the American versions. I've seen some of the Japanese versions, but I don't think the Japanese versions are going to change my mind too much. One of Sonic is the ugliest. Alright, here's our next S tier pick right now. I am a big advocate for Godzilla 1998. Now hear me out. There are a lot of things in this movie that probably wouldn't fly if this movie was made today. But I love it. And I know there's a lot of people that'll be like, oh, I know this is great. This would be a great movie if it wasn't Godzilla. No, fuck it. This is a great movie. I love the Godzilla in this movie. It is a little upsetting that Godzilla dies so easily. This is a great movie, man. I'm a big fan of the 1998 movie. It is literally my favorite. It is like my favorite looking Godzilla, like period. And I know you're gonna say like, oh, he's biased. Yeah, I'm from fucking New York. Of course I'm biased. I get to watch Godzilla destroy my city. Are you kidding me? You know how hyped I was when I knew this movie existed? And I found this movie when I was little. I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. Incredible. Cinema at the peak. And you got like Hank Azaria and like the Bart Simpson lady in there. You know, you got the worm guy, the Topolis. And you know what? Without this movie, we wouldn't have gotten the kick-ass animated series. This movie, amazing. I'm a big fan. It's S tier. It is literally S tier. I will hear no arguments or no slander otherwise. This is one of my favorites. The only things I can't get behind is they say some things in the movie that could be offensive. But besides that, solid. Big fan. This is the movie got the most money out of all the Godzilla movies? Oh, I bet. TriStar Godzilla? Sick. Zilla's design? Sick. Excuse you, there was a cover of Kashmir with Puff Daddy or Puff Diddy, whatever Diddy's name was back then, and it's sick. Yeah, this movie slaps. S tier, no other explanations. Will not elaborate further, and I will not hear any slander. Ferris Bueller is in it. Oh, and I met Matthew Broderick once. He was really nice, so that even might further my opinion on this movie. But I'm pretty sure he also did run over people with his car and kill them on accident, and he got away with it. Besides the point, Zilla slaps. 1998 Godzilla slaps. Alright, next up, A tier, Godzilla 2014. John Reno was good in the movie? Yeah, he was. My guy, you are the death of cinema. EMK and 90 in the same tier. Bro, I told you, animated show sucks, rookie. Come on, man. But I love Godzilla 2014. I do agree that the Godzilla needed more screen time. The like updated enhanced version where you can actually see everything is really solid. I like it a lot. G2014 is pretty much one of the movies I come back to regularly to watch in my spare time, just like throw it on the TV and stuff like that. I'm not gonna make an argument for it like I did for 1998, where it's like the peak of Godzilla movies. It's good. It's definitely one of my favorite looking Godzillas. I really like the spikes on him, the like more jagged looking ones. Although the King of the Monsters design is the superior Godzilla design to me. But let me tell you a story. Everyone that I know knows that I'm a big Godzilla fan. And you guys are all big Godzilla fans too. And I'm sure that you probably also in the same situation where people know you're big Godzilla fans. When Godzilla 2014 came out, I'm a nice guy. I don't say no, right? I don't say no too often to my friends. I was asked by 4 or 5 different groups of people, or 4 groups of friends, 1 group of family to see this movie. And they're like, oh my God, you know, this would be great. I really want to share the experience of going to see this movie for the first time with you. It's the first Godzilla movie, like American movie theaters, like 10 years, whatever, 20 years. Like, let's go check it out. Like, let's all go together and let's watch it. So I went, so my dad was like, we'll go after school. After you get out of school, because I was like a senior in high school. It was like, after you get out of school, we'll go together. It'll be the first time seeing it. Sick. Made a plan with my dad to see it after school. I made a plan for midnight release with like my best friends. I made a plan for the showing right after my dad with this girl that I was seeing. And then I made another plan that following night after I got done with my date. I saw it again. I saw this movie 5 times on opening day. Literally my whole day was like seeing this freaking movie. I'm a big 2014 fan, and even as big of a 2014 fan I can say that it's definitely not the S tier, but it is so good. I love it a lot, and I love the Mutos. Okay, next up is the Against Mechagodzilla or whatever it is, the first one with Kiryu. The first one with Kiryu is pretty good. It's alright. It's not incredible. It's not the best. But it's good, and it's a really good introduction to Kiryu. I like it a lot. It's really where you're gonna friend battle live Discord or on here. I don't think I'm friend battling tonight, but if you're in my Discord, you can always at me, and if I'm available, I can friend battle. But the first Kiryu movie is alright. I think it's a problem with the Kodam hype. Looking back, none of the Godzilla fans were hyped, and the trailers didn't try to do that. I was pretty hyped for it, but I know there was a lot of fans that were hyped as well as fans that were not. Alright, what is this? City on the Edge of Battle? This is the Mechagodzilla city is terrible. I basically fell asleep watching it. I won't elaborate on that one further. Godzilla Planet or Planet of the Monsters or whatever. Sick. Really cool concept. Kinda slow, kinda boring. The end, when they show the big Godzilla, is really sweet. I like it a lot, and the soundtrack slaps. The soundtrack for the 3 of these movies are really, really good, but that soundtrack's not saving them from being not great. Shin Godzilla, baby. S tier. Shin Godzilla, great. Great freaking movie, man. Shin Godzilla is so good, and I know that there's people in here that you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. I love it, and I love that it's the commentary on the Japanese government, the bureaucracy, and all that stuff. And it's just so horrifying to see the destruction that he causes. And his design is just brutal looking. It's sick. I'm a big, big fan. Next up. This is my favorite. This one is my favorite. Out of all of them, I think this one is my favorite. Versus Destroya. And if you're in my Discord, you know that Destroya is my favorite monster. Because my role in Discord is Destroya. The first one was the slow with a lot of setup. Yeah. Shin is SSSS. The Destroya movie, so good. I'm getting back on topic. I love the Destroya movie. It is so sweet. I'm a big fan of it. I have nothing but praise for Versus Destroya. It is so good. The emotional weight that you see Godzilla go through the whole thing is crazy. Destroya looks sick. He kills Junior, and it's just a great way to end the stakes were so high. It was such a great way to end that era, for real. It is such a good movie. Versus Gigan, A tier. I love when they mess up Anguirus' mouth, or they hit him in not his mouth. That's a different one. They hit him in the head. They just like poke him in the face a lot, and he starts bleeding. It was sick. Godzilla Tower, awesome. Cockroach people, pretty sweet as well. Love the cockroach people. This movie is A tier for me. I believe this is the Hedorah movie. I believe this is Godzilla vs. Hedorah, which is A tier for me. I really am a big fan of the Hedorah movie. It's good. I don't know much else to say about that. I mean, I love the themes of pollution. I'm a big fan of that. I just lost my train of thought. Hedorah is awesome. I really like Hedorah's design. I really like how they do a lot of like psychedelic, trippy animation stuff in this movie because it's so weird and like not like any other of the Godzilla films. And he's just like killing people. You see them like people disintegrate. He kills like the cat on the staircase, and there's like human remains and stuff. It's like super brutal to like talk about the themes of pollution and stuff like that. So I'm putting that in the S tier. I'm a big fan of it. This is versus King Ghidorah, which is the first appearance of Mecha Ghidorah. And I don't like it that much. I'm just going to say it. I think the plot is a little too confusing. I think they're just trying to capitalize on the Terminator hype because these movies came out around the same time. The Terminator's in the 80s, this is in the early 90s. Mecha King Ghidorah is really cool. I don't remember that weird robot guy that like sprints after them. He's cool. M11, I think is his name. The Dorats are cute. We all like the Dorats here. We're big Dorat hype fans. I think the plot and the enemies like plan was a little stupid though. Not a big fan of this one. I've seen it a few times. It's alright. I'm nothing too special honestly coming out of this one right here. But now, he also made Gears bleed a ton and broke his jaw. Yeah, listen. Mechagodzilla, baby. Mechagodzilla's sick. Mechagodzilla literally is so sick. I love the 74 Mechagodzilla design. This is a great movie. It's a ton of fun. He absolutely destroys Anguirus. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of this movie and watching Mechagodzilla go to town. Big fan of that. Alright. This one with the Rodan. But this one has the ugly baby Godzilla as well in it. I don't like this one too much either, to be honest. This one's alright. Got burned by Back to the Future. But this movie was alright. I don't know. I don't really care about the Rodan plot. And they find the baby, and the baby Godzilla is gross looking in this one. Mechagodzilla is always cool to see, but I was not a fan of like a lot in this movie. It was like just alright to me. This is the Megaguirus movie. Megaguirus movie was like pretty run-of-the-mill. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm a big fan of the belly flop scene, and I think Megaguirus is one of the coolest looking enemies Godzilla's ever had, and it's sad that we haven't had her in more things. But with that being said, it's just alright. It's just an alright movie. And like Megaguirus, like that whole like the way Megaguirus like comes into being is like super strange to me. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that. But it's alright. Now versus Space Godzilla is like a B tier. Space Godzilla is decent. This has my favorite version of the baby Godzilla. He looks super cute. Got the big ears. They got the Yuki special. This guy who thinks he can just shoot Godzilla and kill him. Super fun. Calling baby Godzilla ugly is just as bad as putting Dimension Tide in the D tier. Oh god, dude, the Megaguirus movie has the worst unit and one of the best units. Megaguirus and Dimension Tide. But the Space Godzilla movie is fun. I have really fond memories of watching it on like the Sci-Fi Channel after school, like way long ago. I'm a big fan of it. Space G movie is alright. Mogera is cool. Mogera gets whooped in the beginning of that asteroid and then comes back for the dub in the end. But at the end of the day, it was alright. It's not one of my favorites, but if it's on, I'll watch it. If it comes by on my screen, I'll watch it. You know, it's not like an instant skip like some of the other movies on this list, but it's pretty good. This is the funky one. This is a funky movie. Apparently, the movie was supposed to be about Frankenstein, and like that's why Godzilla gets woken up by electricity. Because originally it's supposed to be they wake Frankenstein up with electricity, which is super strange to me. It's all right, not like a incredible film. I'm not gonna like watch it all the time. Super Godzilla is inspired by Super Godzilla. Space Godzilla is inspired by Super Godzilla. Yeah, I knew that, which is kind of crazy because they said like they couldn't do Super Godzilla in a movie for whatever reason, so they just did it in Space Godzilla. But both of them look cool. Funny how Dimension Tide kill Godzilla but can't kill anything in Battle Line. King's Monsters was awesome, great designs. Burning G is incredible. Oh. King of the Monsters is S tier, man. If you came in here thinking I was going to put King of the Monsters in anything lower than S tier, but you're out of your mind. If you've spoken to me in the Discord at all, you knew this was happening. It's good. I love it. I love King of the Monsters. I saw it. It was amazing in theaters. I watch it all the time. Tons of fun. I'm not elaborating any further than that. All the monster designs are freaking sweet in this movie. Soundtrack slaps. Serge Tonkin or whatever his name is from System of a Down kills the Godzilla Blue Oyster Cult cover. I love it. I'm a big fan. No questions. S tier. cut away too much from the fights. Could have ended a lot better, but it was fun. I don't care. Super fun. Loved it. Loved seeing it. Loved watching it. I thought it was funny. I got really tired of the Rick and Morty kind of guy eventually, but I liked it. And I love the monster fights. I'm a big fan of that one for sure. Now, versus Biollante, A tier. Biollante movie has BioWars theme, and that theme is the best Godzilla song ever to be put to paper. BioWar slaps. But I actually really do like the plot of this. I'm not too crazy on the like fictional country that's trying to like terrorize and take over, or like get the G cells or whatever it is. It's all right, but I really like the daughter merging with the G cells thing with the plants is interesting with the scientists. It really makes Biollante like sympathetic, so A tier for that. Not one of my all-time favorites, but definitely a ton of fun. I really like the Biollante movie a lot. And Biollante looks super sweet. And she sounds awesome. She's just sick. She's a great monster in general. Alright, now next S tier, baby. Final Wars. The man Don Fry kicks ass in this. We have all these crazy monsters. We got Anguirus, Caesar. We got the sick Monster X Destroyer. Not Destroyer. What is his name? Ghidorah. Sick ass Gigan. The which country of Saradia? Yeah, the Saradian agent or whatever his name is. But Final Wars, I love Final Wars. The only thing that's bad about it is the Manila parts I don't like them that much, but I feel like that's like no one's favorite. Final Wars basically just reminds me of like a Power Rangers episode, basically, with Godzilla in it. It feels like a way crazy like X-Men action fighting movie. Crazy. Final Wars is a bootleg Destroy All Monsters. Destroy All Monsters is bootleg Final Wars. Final Wars is great. I love Final Wars. I'm a big fan. Such a good movie. This is the Mothra movie with Batra. It's alright. I mean, it's not terrible. I don't think it's overly memorable. I know there's a lot of people that like it. Like my younger brother likes it because he was a big Mothra and Batra fan. But it's alright to me. I'm not really too impressed by it one way or the other. Yeah, the Hedorah stuff had to be cut out in Final Wars, but at least we're going to be getting it in that short film, which I'm super excited for as well. More Hedorah goodness is always fun. Is Destroyer stronger than King Ghidorah? I don't know. I would like to think that he is. Yeah, people will know this line from Don Fry in the movie. Have you watched Pacific Rim? Oh, I love Pacific Rim. The first one's really good. The second one's alright. Petra's an actual jerk in that movie. Tier list is still going on. Yeah, we're still going with these movies. We're almost done though. This is the Megalon Gigan movie. Is pretty bad. It's mostly reused footage and stock stuff, and basically was just the pilot to get not Ultraman, well, their Ultraman ripoff Jet Jaguar into anything. But I like Jet Jaguar, and then in Singular Point he was super cool too. So I'm a big fan. I hope he appears in Legendary. Oh, I do too. For Destroyer, I assume you're talking about. But this movie's pretty bad. It's mostly reused footage, and then there's the Jet Jaguar stuff, which is fun. Alright. A lot of you guys are going to hate me for this one. But this movie's placing low on here. I know it's like sacrilege. I do not like the first Godzilla movie. I do not like it. And yes, I've seen the Japanese version. I prefer the Japanese version. But I don't know. I don't like it. Obviously, I'm a big fan of like the themes and the motifs and what they're trying to get across, obviously, and I gotta give it mad props because it's like the progenitor of Godzilla. It's like the first one. I do not like it. I don't know what it is. I watch it and I just don't like it. I know everyone is a bad person. I knew this would be the one that I get the most shit for, but I don't like it. I think it's good. Like, it's fine, and I have to give it that it's a product of its time, and it can't be like the Godzilla stuff that we're used to now. But I just have to say it, and I just have to get it off my chest that I do not think that I don't like it as much. I don't like it. I know there's a lot of people who do like it, and it's definitely going to give me the most shit in the Godzilla community, period, is that I ranked it so low. A tier for me, but I respect your opinion. Thank you, Super Tom. Listen, I respect the movie, I respect the theme, I love the themes in it, actually. I love the cinematography, and it's a great introduction to Godzilla and everything it's about. And I even think the Raymond Burr stuff in the American version is good. But just, I watch it, and I'm like, I do not like this. It's just not my thing. If I had to prefer a Godzilla origin, it's Shin Godzilla. I think Shin Godzilla does what the first Godzilla movie does, but a lot better, because it's obviously a lot more modern, and it's a lot more relevant to like our times than the original Godzilla was. But I will give credit where credit is due. The first Godzilla movie is very good and is very well done, but just for some reason I watch it and I don't like it. I don't know. I know you really love 1954. It's one of your favorites. I know. I think maybe for me it's the design of Godzilla. I don't like the way he looks, and I know like some people are like, oh, it's my favorite Godzilla, and I know it's like the very first time, but there's just so many other better looking Godzillas, which is fine. I can't really slander the movie too much. It's literally the first one, so obviously it's not going to be perfect, but I don't know, something about it, I just don't like it. 1956 American Godzilla sucked, my guy. I know, but I've also seen the Japanese one. I've seen the Japanese Godzilla 1954 more than the American one, but I'm saying that because, like I said earlier, I haven't seen some of these movies in Japanese, but I've seen most of them. But I don't know. I don't like it. I would maybe put it in like a C tier. Like, I'll just respect it. Like, be like middle of the road. Like, I don't hate it, but I don't like love it. I think it's good though. Where would you rank the Gamera trilogy? I've never seen any of the Gamera movies, Spencil. I'm just gonna be honest. I've never seen it. Never any of them. But they're all on Amazon Prime now, so maybe I'll take a watch at them this weekend or next week. Now this one I can say I don't like. I do not like the first Anguirus movie. It's not good. And I think that's like a universal thing. Like, the only thing I like about it is the one goofy pilot that's like, hello, or hey you guys. He's like really dopey, and I think he dies in the end. I don't know. This movie's alright. And then there's like random burglars for some reason in the middle. It's like decent. But I don't know. I don't like it as much. And it's a second movie, and it was definitely a cash grab, but it's the first appearance of Anguirus. Dude, we have to get you to watch the Gamera movies. Listen, everyone asks me to watch them all the time. I gotta give them a watch, and I'll give you like a review or something. Watch them. They're as good, if not better, than every Godzilla film. That's a tall order, but I'll watch them. This is Invasion of the Astro Monster, and I know that because it has these guys in the mood. But I love Invasion of the Astro Monster. I have a yeah, they made the Godzilla, the next one with Anguirus in 6 months, but I love the Invasion of the Astro Monster. I think it's a ton of fun. It's like a good romp in space. It's kind of cheesy, and I think this is the one where Godzilla does the dance. And I don't really like the Showa era movies too much. To be completely honest, I'm not a big Showa era fan. But they're all right. I have a few Showa era. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 up here. But other than these ones, I'm just letting you know. I think actually maybe this one. I guess I may be more of a Showa fan than I realized, but most of the Showa movies I don't like. Godzilla vs. Kong in the original is not great. They do give kids cigarettes in this movie, so that's cool. They got Skeleturtle in here. That's cool. And they got Giant Octopus in here. Big fan of Giant Octopus. What up, Giant Octopus? Everyone who's here knows that. But I dare you to do the Showa victory dance. Maybe one day, Blue Champ Gaming. Maybe one day. But I think the Godzilla vs. Kong, the original, is alright. It's like a fun, campy romp. I love Giant Octopus and Skeleturtle, and then giving them kids cigarettes is always fun. So it's a good time. Godzilla vs. Mothra is pretty good. Or I guess it's Mothra versus Godzilla, because this was the last time Godzilla was like a true villain. This one is A tier, not because I think it's a good movie, but it is very nostalgic for me. I think this was probably the first Godzilla movie I ever did see. And it's one that I go back to frequently. I'm a big fan of it. Giving kids cigarettes to hook 'em early is a big brain move. Yeah, absolute Chad move in Godzilla vs. Kong, the original, to give kids cigarettes. And getting Kong drunk on the berry juice, of course. But yeah, the Mothra one is pretty nostalgic for me, so I'm going to put it on A tier. In terms of movie quality, it probably goes in B tier, but I'm pretty nostalgic about it, so I'm going to keep it in the A. This one is bad. I don't like this one. This is like with Manila and the Kamacuras and then the freezing Sunday. I don't understand it. I don't care about it. And Manila literally looks like a turd the whole movie. What do you give Godzilla 2004? It's up here. It's in a S tier. But Manila sucks in this one, dude. Manila literally looks like a wet poop the whole time. I'm a big fan of when he trips and falls and hurts himself because he deserves it. The freezing Sunday is interesting. It was fine. The plot was whatever. I don't really care about it. This movie's decent. Monster vs. a ripoff of the Gamma trilogy. I'm sorry, it's true. This one with Titanosaurus and Mechagodzilla is alright. It's not as good as the first one with Mechagodzilla, which is the superior Mechagodzilla movie. But it's fun. It's fine. I like Titanosaurus a lot. I don't really care about the plot too much of this one. It's pretty, like, doesn't matter. Pretty run-of-the-mill stuff. And now Godzilla vs. Kong. This is a tough one for me. Godzilla vs. Kong. I want to put it in the S tier. Because I'm a big fan of the ending, obviously. I know a lot of people are. But I feel like maybe it goes in A tier. I don't know. I'm putting it in the S tier. I really liked it. I liked King of the Monsters, I think, more than Godzilla vs. Kong. But they're both really close for me. It's really hard for me to decide which one I like more. And it has my favorite Mechagodzilla design. I think I'm just going to say that straight up, that I think the Godzilla vs. Kong Mechagodzilla is my favorite Mechagodzilla. So I'm putting it there. But honestly, this list went a lot better than I thought it was going to do. I thought it was going to have a lot more D-tier movies. I guess not. I guess I'm more of a Showa fan than I realize. But we got like most of the F tier for me is Showa. So, whatever. But I think it's a pretty solid list. These are my favorites. Maybe eventually I'll just rank my favorite Godzilla designs because I think they'll be less than S tier. But these are the S tier Godzilla movies are pretty much the Godzilla movies that I habitually go back and rewatch. Like when I work from home, so like when I'm working and I have nothing to do, I throw up on one of my monitors like one of these movies pretty like habitually, like regularly I will put them on. So these are great movies. Big fan of all of them up here. I mean, they're all great in their own right, but just a personal preference, obviously. I'm not rating these movies based on like critics or anything and stuff like that. This is just personal preference at the end of the day. And I know I was going to get a lot of flack for some of the choices, but it seems like we've been doing pretty good. But with that being said, we have been going on for 2 hours now. And we did do our 2 tier list that we said we were going to do. Here they are for refreshers. And if you want the PNGs for them, I will put them in the Discord in the meta section and pin them like I always do. And then this stream will probably be clipped up either tonight or tomorrow and posted individually, so you don't have to go through this whole stream for any of the 3 lists that we did tonight. So thank you guys all for hanging out for our first YouTube stream. I gotta maybe see what's up with the stream delay. I know it was making it kind of difficult to decide like what was gonna be going where and what was going on. So I gotta take a look at that because haven't had to do anything with that like on Twitch. But the polls were super useful. The polls were a lot better than doing this on Twitch. Having you guys being able to vote for the monsters in real time was super helpful and really helps me gauge where the community's head is at with some of these units. Yeah, this was a ton of fun for me. I didn't think it was going to go as well as it did. We definitely had some hiccups with the stream delay and stuff, and there's so many people in here. We had like 50 people in here chatting about like Desghidorah when that came up, but this was a ton of fun, so thank you guys all for coming out. Yeah, Tom, we did 3 tier lists. We did the PvP, we did the PvE, and then we did this one. But thank you guys all for hanging out. This was a ton of fun. I actually really did have a good time, and it's definitely taught me a lot about streaming on YouTube with the delay. I feel like there wasn't really a delay in the last stream we did, but there was for this one, so that's something I gotta figure out. But anyway, thank you guys all so much for watching. Catch the clips later when they get uploaded, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.